All right, guys, so we're going to recap my SPX trades for today and go over why I took them. And we'll start right off with the first trade of the day. So I took a really quick scalp just to start off the day. And this was basically just a simple low of the day break. So just going with the momentum, reading the tape. And it was a very quick scalp. As you can see, got in right here, got out right here. And we can see on the contracts, I got in at 10 bucks, got out 12. So I mean, a quick 20%, can't complain about that, right? So took that for a starter, and I was mainly short biased on SPX today and ES. And the reason for that is if we look at the bigger picture, and before we get into this, actually, I just want to say it's very important to understand the bigger picture context, regardless of what style you trade. So whether you're a scalper or swing trader, you need to look at all time frames so you can get the right context in order to put on the right trades. So for today, it didn't really make sense for me to go long, simply because we just had really nice momentum for 3 days in a row. We broke out of this wedge, very nice momentum, longs were in control for the past 3 days. And today I was thinking we may fill this gap over here, which we did this morning, and reject strongly, and we'd run into this supply zone, and we'd be met with aggressive sellers. And as you can see today, that's exactly what it did. So I didn't take this entry over here. I probably should have in hindsight, but wasn't really feeling comfortable with it. But that was a great entry to short into this supply zone and the gap fill over here, right around 4,013 to 4,017. That was a very big supply zone. So lots of sell orders just hit the tape there, and we bled all the way down. So the trades I took were I was watching this kind of wedge forming, and I wanted to get a piece of the downside for today because I had conviction we were going to see some sell-off today and some profit taking. So I took a few trades here and I got a little bit chopped up. So I got in a bit early anticipating the break. And I've always mentioned in my videos, try never to anticipate a trade. Always wait for the break if you're trading breakouts. And the reason for that is you're going to get chopped up, right? If you're using a tight stop and you want to see the trade work right away, which is what I want to see when I'm trading these wedge breaks, I'm probably going to take 2 or 3 tries before I get it if I'm anticipating, right? Because it's pretty hard to anticipate the break when it hasn't given you that confirmation yet. So I got in here, I got in short right here. As you can see, I pretty much bottom ticked that candle, and I was expecting it to break or anticipating it to break, and as you can see, it held. So I stopped out right away. That was this trade here. We had this trade here, literally 30-second trade. As you can see, I got out right away, took a small loss there, and then I tried again here. So I bought more puts again, going short. I tried again here, again, just buying puts near the trend, which is not ideal. You want to wait for the break first. So again, I was a bit antsy, I was a bit anticipatory, and it cost me a little bit of money. So I had to stop out again, stopped out right there, took a loss there. And then I actually flipped to calls. So I bought some 4,000 calls when I saw we were actually breaking out of this to the upside. And I thought, you know what, they might be able to retest those high of the days, maybe 4,008, 4,010 for a quick scalp. We got all the way up to 4,006, which was I was up pretty nicely on those contracts, and I probably should have just taken some off or all of them off. But I decided to hold, and I wanted to see that 4,008, 4,010 level get tested for some profit taking. But we never got there, and I noticed the tape was really heavy. As you can see, the sellers were definitely in control here. After we broke out, we came, and it ended up being a fake out of this wedge. So once we were struggling here, I sold my position. I sold for a small loss right here. As you can see, I got out right around here. And this is when I was confident in the short side. So once we got this breakout over this wedge and then we failed to continue and fall through, this told me that sellers were definitely in control for the day. And that gave me confidence to get short at the wedge break. And this time I actually waited for the wedge to break. So of course that's the trade that worked, right? All you have to do is wait for confirmation, and the trade's much higher probability and much more likely to work. So we got a very nice flush out, very aggressive sell-off right into the lows. I wasn't targeting the lows. I was looking at a little bit of a bigger target here. And my target was, as you can see, I have these lines drawn out. My target was around 3978 to 3975. So I took all my contracts off, got all out over here. I just wanted to lock it in. It was a really nice move. And as you can see here, I got in at 870 on the contracts. They went all the way up to 20 bucks and even higher than that. I think they hit a high of like 30 or maybe even 40 bucks. But you got to take your profits when you're trading contracts, right? Because they are kind of thin and they are very spready. So you want to lock it in when it gives you the move, and you don't want to be too greedy. So I'm very happy with the trade. Followed my plan there. And if we zoom in on the bigger time frame here, you guys can get a better idea of why I was targeting those zones. So as you can see from yesterday, we had these levels here. We had 39.70 and then we had this 39.78 kind of area. Those were the zones I was targeting for my profit. So anywhere between this level, that's kind of 39.80s down to 39.70s, that was my zone. And right now we are kind of breaking under that now. So it seems like the demand is not really picking up here, and we might see some continuation to the sell side today. So the buyers are not strong enough here to hold this level. That means we're going to probably find demand at the next level down. So that's when you draw your lines. You can look at that chart and you can see where the potential next targets will be. So we got some there, we got some over here, and you can kind of use those as your targets, right? So always use the bigger time frames to get the context so you can have an idea of where you're going to take profits and whether your trades are worth taking, because you know the definition of a high quality setup or a high quality trade, regardless of what style you trade, again, like I said, I don't care if you're a scalper, trend trader, swing trader, I don't care if you trade Forex, crypto, whatever market you're trading, the anatomy of a high quality setup is simple. It's context, having the context. So why is this a good trade? Well, it's a good trade because we see it has potential and it has room to get to these levels if they get under a certain level. And once we broke this low of the day, as you can see, just pure selling, and we got right into the next demand zone here, which now consolidated for a bit, and now we were under that demand zone. So this is why, you know, understanding context is very crucial. Understanding the levels, key levels, is very important in your trading, and use those key levels as a guide for your either your profit targets or maybe as an entry. So if you have a key level that's breaking, you can use that as an entry. If you have a key level that is approaching and you're already in a trade, probably want to think about taking your profits off near that level. And if it keeps going, the trade keeps going, so be it. You know, you're not going to catch 100% of the move. Nobody ever does. I don't see anybody catching the bottom and the top. And if you try to do that, you're probably going to lose more often than you win. So, you know, stick to your targets, be realistic with your profit targets, and let the trades work. You know, take your profits, follow your plan. That's all you can do in trading, right? So today I followed my plan. You know, I got the trade I wanted here. It took a few tries to get it, but when I got it, as you can see, it paid out much more than the losing trades. So that's well over 100% gain on that trade. So that's the recap today, guys. Hope you learned something about the context and why it's so important to kind of zoom out and get a bigger picture so that you can kind of understand what's likely to happen moving forward. All right, have a good one, guys. Cheers.